Hello Aquarius, this is your October 15th to October 31st, 2016 read. For the main read, I'm using the Morgan Greer Tarot. It's an older deck I've had for a while. I don't know where the deck box is right now, but it's Morgan Greer. It's a beautiful, powerful deck. I've had it for a long time. Since it gives great messages, I wanted to use that for your read. And for the advice cards, the Magical Spell Oracle cards, Magical Spell cards by Lucy Cavendish. I got this as a gift from a friend. I think it gives great messages, very to the point, so I thought I'd add those in as well. As normal, I've pre-shuffled the decks, so I will get them right out here, and we will get right to it. Is that a double card? No. Okay. Oh, okay. Alright, this is interesting. Your overall energy is the Seven of Pentacles, which is seeing things for the future. You have a lot of things that are almost ripe, but not completely there, is what I'm feeling. And I'm kind of stammering only because typically I do the top card is the overall energy, then we do the next line down, which is what things are happening for you, and then the line below that is the environment. And after I did your line, I really felt like I shouldn't be putting down the environment, which is interesting. So either you don't know what's going on there, or it's not. Something is just really like vacant here. It's kind of weird for me. I can actually. I feel like it's all about you. That's interesting. When we start this time frame, we have the High Priestess, which I feel like, ooh, I'm getting her eyes very strongly. The way I'm looking at her eyes, and I'm getting it very strongly, I feel like she's in a good place in a spiritual sense. I also feel like she's a little aggravated, and she's like, I feel like she's almost like watching people, and I almost feel like there's some like, there's a chance of saying little spiked comments, if you will, just like little backhanded compliments even, just like, I almost feel like there's a little aggravation with this, like, for the most part, I feel like it's holding back, and I feel like in this case, I feel like I feel like in this case especially, because the way I'm looking at her eyes and her hands, and the way she's just kind of like holding this paper back, I feel like she feels like she's been holding her tongue for a long time, and she's really fed up with it. But I feel like she's very spiritually centered, and she knows why she's doing it, and she feels like it's the right thing to do. Keep in mind, it's a general read, so if you're male or female, this could still apply equally. It doesn't have anything to do with that. I just feel like emotionally, just very fed up with holding back. Feeling like it's purposeful and it's necessary, but also feeling very fed up with it. Just really like, you know, I'm really sick of holding my tongue. Like, really sick of it. Interestingly enough, I feel like this is connected to that Libra time frame. Like, so once we move out of Libra, I think you'll be okay. And I almost feel like it's the diplomacy of Libra, because Libra likes to get along. Libra likes things to work out. You know what I mean? Likes everybody to be treated fairly and to work out well. And I almost feel like it's being diplomatic and getting people to work out their differences. Getting things to work out, getting situations to work out smoothly keeps you from, you know, being a little more inquisitive, or like a lot of times I feel like you like to say little things just to see what people are going to say. Sometimes you just kind of like to stir the pot a little bit. And in this time frame, you're just like, it's not the time for that. I can't do that right now. And it really aggravates you that you feel like you can't be yourself. That's what I'm getting from this. And I really feel like it's the Libra time frame, because I feel like there's a lot of communication, but it's a lot of diplomacy and working together, getting things to work out, that type of thing. As this next part comes in, we have the Ten of Pentacles, which, moving into the Scorpio time, I feel like you are really like, I almost feel like you see the fruits of your labor. I'm getting that more off than not. I almost feel like there's some people around you getting along better than they have been in a while, and that you have had a hand in that. You've been doing what you can to get people to work things through, and I feel like that's kind of a sign of this too. You're definitely happy and enjoying this, but I almost feel like you're looking from the outside in and you're seeing like the fruits of your labor. Like you've helped some things work out. You've helped make things go in a good direction, and you're proud of that, and you should be. I feel like these two kind of go together. Like you're kind of like, all right, I've been holding my tongue for a while, and I'm really kind of sick of not being myself here. But then right after that, you're seeing like, well, all right, it worked out. Everything is fine. The next card in succession after the Ten of Pentacles is the Magician. But now it feels like you went through this time, like it feels like a long time you've been holding your tongue. Things worked out, and you see the rewards, the fruit of your labors. And I feel like you learned a lot by going through this situation, and you're seeing a lot of possibilities. And like, I feel like you're now just kind of in that spot where you're like, all right, I can do it. I can hold back if I need to, but do I want to? And there's a lot of things on the table. Like, it kind of like, you feel like the situation where you've been holding your tongue, that's fine. But like, what else do I want to do now? I feel like in some cases you may be like moving on, in a sense, not like away from those people permanently, but just like doing other things. Just kind of like, I need to do something different for now. I feel like there's a lot of question in your sense of like, in your state, like, where do I want to go with this? I learned this information. Where do I want to go with it? That type of feel. This reading is very interesting because it's kind of throwing me off that there's no environmental line to go with here. But some environmental things are coming through, so I'm kind of confused why we don't have an environmental line. But we'll keep going. The Hierophant comes after the Magician. These are both major arcana. In fact, in your line, 3 of the 4 cards in your line are major arcana. Which makes me feel like not only are these things going to happen, but it feels like you're learning a lot. Like the holding back over here, and then the seeing the fruits of your labor, seeing what type of benefits you got from holding back. The Magician is actually next, not the Hierophant. And then deciding what you want to do with that. I feel like you're kind of going along the lines of like making the best of it, and I feel like you really feel like I'm getting like staying in the same groove. That's the word I want to use. Staying in the same groove. For some of you, it may seem like a rut is where you're going to stay for now because it's kind of benefited you. It's paid off. I feel like you're very happy with how things have paid off. Like you're seeing your holding back has really paid off, and it's really got you something that you wanted. It's got a situation where you wanted it or thought it should be. Let's put out some advice cards. Because I feel like you're continuing along the same lines. It's just that in the beginning it's kind of aggravating to you, and at the end you're kind of comfortable with it. Okay. No. Okay. And I'm getting more now that the reason we're not having a environmental line is because it's about you. It's all about you. Like, it's not about things going on around you. It's not how people are affecting you. It's about you. It's about mentally where you want to be. It's how you want things to go forward, and that seems to be the important thing here. I think that there's a lot of peace going on here, and I feel like it's a very peaceful time. I feel like you're learning a lot about what to say and when to say it, and I think you're learning like when's too much. Like, it's like I feel like you like thought and conversation that's challenging and gets things to develop, or you like to uncover the hidden stones. And the enjoyable way for you to uncover hidden stones, especially in a mental sense, is just to stir the pot a bit and just kind of like put out these questions, or just like to say things to just people it's going to get their goat a little bit. That's kind of what I'm getting. And you like that thoughtful conversation. But you're also seeing how certain people not only get agitated with that certain situation, but they might hold grudges on the same level. To you, it's just, healthy thought. To them, it's an attack. And I think you've recognized that with certain people. I don't feel like when you do it, it's meant as an attack, but you're recognizing, and I feel like that's where this piece is coming in. You're recognizing the certain people in your life that can't really handle that sparring of thoughts. Because I feel like it's kind of like a sparring match. Like, you really like to weed out, or like you like to throw out some little comments and questions and what ifs that are really, they really literally get somebody's goat. The thing is, for you, it's just like, it's just kind of fun, and just to see where the conversation will go. But to them, I feel like they take them more as insults. Some of these people they don't take it well. And I think you're learning that. And that's where the peace card is definitely coming in, where you're understanding who can and who can't you talk like that with. And I think there's a few people that are intelligent in your circle that you like to spar with because they're smart and they have good things to say. But you also know those same people, certain ones, they can't do it. They remember it and they take it offensively. And you're just like, no, it was just a conversation, brush it off. And they don't. They constantly bring it back and bring it up. And that's what you're learning from the situation, because I feel like you've been doing that. You've been holding back and kind of holding your tongue. You're seeing how that's working out to your benefit in the long run. And that's where the peace comes in. And I feel like that's very much the Libra. Like, I feel like once Libra kind of fades out, I feel like you're kind of like, all right, you're seeing how that paid off. I do also see, like, you don't like that you feel kind of restricted. I feel like you were feeling kind of restricted. There's a lot going on around you. I feel there's good things around you, but there's nothing. We're not hitting on anything specific. I feel like it's still all about you, and it's not about what somebody else is thinking or feeling. It's about how you're thinking and feeling. Especially as we go closer to the 31st and Scorpio is more in effect, I feel like you learned a lot from this time frame, or from like handling this one person, because this person means a lot to you. And again, I think it's because they're intelligent and they can hold their own against you, but you're seeing the after effect. For you, it's not that big a deal. It's just a thought. It's just a conversation. To them, it's like an insult. And as you go forward, learning how to handle this better, and like, I feel like you're more getting how to recognize other people in your life, or when you meet people, like, you're kind of catching on certain cues that, maybe this isn't the person to spar with mentally, because, sometimes people get a little bent out of shape. And you're starting to also recognize those that not only you can do that with, but you're starting to kind of recognize other people like you that like to do that. And I feel like you're starting to search out people, some friendships, not abandoning ones from the past, but just adding new ones in who can not only keep up with you mentally, but who are more than willing and actually think it's just as fun as you do to throw out a couple sparring comments. So I feel like that's where we're going. You've learned a lot. I feel like in a lot of cases you might have a partner or a family member who definitely takes it the wrong way when you kind of spar with them and gets insulted and hurt. And I feel like you've learned a lot from this. The knowledge comes back really strongly. That's what the whole purpose was. Like, if you see this tree with the cup of tea and on the picnic blanket, like I feel like you know what to say, and you know how to nourish relationships, like people who mean a lot to you, that you don't want to hurt their feelings. I mean, it's not meant to do that, but you're realizing it's not working out the way you're doing it. You know how to do certain things with them, and then you're looking at other relationships that you can do this with. And I feel like that's a very important part for you, to have that mental sparring partner, at least one, because you like that thought. You like to do that. but you're just starting to really, I feel like especially in this time frame, you're like getting it. Like these I can do that with, these I can't, and out of the ones I can do it with, this one really likes it, and so doesn't that one. So I can have a real good time here. And I feel like that's what's happening. That's all I got for right now. Okay, so overall energy, I feel like it's you've paid your dues, and I feel like this is like growing. I feel like this is very much seeing how things have been playing out. Getting to know not only how you affect people, but how people take you, and how to not only recognize who you can say certain things to, but how you can find other people who you could have these sparring matches with. I feel like I'm getting like I feel like you like to talk, and you just like to get some conversations going, some fun conversations, and you're just learning who can and who can't handle it. And as Libra leaves, I feel like, especially at the end of Libra, I feel like you're a little aggravated, but you're also seeing the benefit of it. As we transition out of Libra, I feel like you're like really starting to get some thoughts, and you're just like, you're like looking at people that you know and other people that you're meeting here and there, and you're just like putting out your little, I feel like it's like little vanilla comments, like maybe a little spicy vanilla comments, where they, you know, you can see where somebody might take that wrong, but if they do, it won't be that big a deal. And you can see if are they gonna play back, or are they just kind of like gonna go, you don't even not be able to handle it. So that's where we're going in the future. I feel like you're very empowered as we go forward. I feel like you're very empowered to, and you've gotten a lot of knowledge for doing what you want to do. A lot of good things around you. I hope this helps. I think it's very, very odd, I think, how this worked out, because I did not plan for it to happen this way. It just kind of came out the way it needed to come out. Of course, leave me a comment below of how you felt about this reading. I just go with my gut. Whatever comes through as the messages come through, I just kind of give them. I do think it's very interesting the way it came through. Of course, if you want a personal reading from me, go ahead, shoot me an email, james4astral@gmail.com, james4astral@gmail.com. Thank you.